After a putrid showing on Saturday, the 49ers offense actually looked pretty good in practice. George Kittle may have the best year of his entire life. Plus, why I am a freaking idiot. What is good, everybody? Welcome to another Gold Standard podcast, part of the Pro Football Insiders. I'm Rob Stats Guerrera alongside Steph Sanchez. This is the Bully Ball Podcast. Steph, I'm sorry you got stuck with me today because Jay's not feeling well.
I'm just wondering why you're an idiot, because you said that and I'm like, I want to hear more. This sounds like I'm the target audience here.
Well, you're not wrong. Before we get to the practice today and why George Kittle is looking better than ever and some of the injuries, again, that the 49ers have, I will explain why I am an idiot. You know that I go out of my way to try and meet everybody on the network, right? At Levi's, when I went a couple years ago, I got to meet you in person. I went to Vegas with Levin, obviously. I went down to Texas to meet with Michelle. I have tried to really go out of my way because we're all spread out all over the country. And I was like, man, I really got to meet with Jay. I haven't met with Jay yet. He's been with us for so long. Like, I really got to do it. So my grand plan was to meet up with him at Citi Field at a Mets game. I'm going to take my son and I'm going to meet with Jay and we're going to go to a Mets game this weekend, right? Really cool idea. You know what I just realized?
What'd you do?
The 49ers play in the afternoon on Saturday. In fact, they play at the exact time the Mets game starts.
So are you both going to the game and not watching the Niners game?
I didn't even realize it until just now.
Honestly, after the way the offense looked in the first preseason game, you might be saving yourself just a bit. Respect.
I'm a moron. So now I don't know what I got to figure out. I got to hope Levin can do it, I guess. What a moron I am. Jay never mentioned it to me like, oh, we're going to go to the Mets game. He never said, hey, Rob, you know the Niners are playing at that time, right? What a freaking idiot I am.
I concur.
Okay. I should have known not to go for you for sympathy. But all right, so I got to figure that out. But anyway, let's dive into this episode. As Brisbee Life says on Twitch, Rob, you have failed us. I did. You know what? Bad job by me. Not gonna lie. Rob D says it's preseason. It's basically just practice. No, but like, look, yeah. Is it the end of the world? No, but also like, it's important. You know, I want to be here for everybody. Like, people come here looking for 49ers news and analysis, and you know,
maybe I could fill in for you, Rob.
You're more than welcome to. I would love it. Please do. Somebody needs to, because I'm a moron. All right, let's get into actual 49ers news today. They had practice, sort of. They have these abbreviated cut down practices, Steph, because they don't have enough healthy bodies to even do one-on-ones. Like, the injury epidemic is back again, and we still have 2/3 of the preseason to go.
I'm honestly not sure how they're going to get through the joint practice with the Raiders on Thursday. Like, you're just going to tell the Raiders, sorry, guys, no one-on-ones. I know you guys were probably looking forward to that, but we just don't have enough healthy guys. Just kind of what it feels like right now. You know, they've canceled joint practices in the past due to injury, but, you know, Kyle Shanahan indicated it's not going to be the case this time around. But it seems like since then, like, there's been more injuries. So I don't know how to feel about it other than sheer panic. That's where I'm at. You know, I think the last time we spoke about it, Rob, I was like, you know, I'm going to pump the brakes on the panic because, you know, some of these injuries are not long-term, and they're still not. Like, they're not super long-term injuries, but now you have guys like missing a month. You have guys missing a couple weeks. You have guys missing at least a week. Like, and you're more injuries are happening before guys are even getting the chance to come back. So they're just piling up. It's a hole the 49ers have dug themselves in, not even intentionally. This is just something that happens when you're part of the 49ers, I guess. You get hurt. And yeah, it doesn't seem like that hole is getting any smaller for the 49ers.
They're not long-term injuries, but the effects of the injuries are long-term. And the perfect example I can think of is Jordan Watkins, right? He's going to be out a month. That's not a crazy long-term injury, right? It's August 12th, but he's missing practice. He's missing joint practice. He's missing preseason games. So all the learning and development and all the stuff that he would have gone through in that time just gets delayed and it gets pushed forward another month. So he's another month behind and he won't ever catch up until the offseason. And that's what sucks, is that the effect, even though the injury isn't long-term, the effects are.
Well, look at guys like, the Alfred Collins, for example, who missed all of spring, right? And it was coming into training camp pretty much dry and not with any lead up time or warm up to anything else. The first week or two of camp showed that. It reflected that. I think even now he's still getting his footing. Robert Saleh talked about that today. Like, they're seeing improvements, which is positive, but you can't undersell just how much the impact of missing the spring practices were for him. Yeah, like especially the young players who are missing time right now. It's huge, and especially for young players who or second year players who are trying to learn a new system, right? With Robert Saleh. And sure, it's not that different from previous years, but let's face it is a little more complex for the better based on what we've seen so far. So
Yes.
Yeah, I think this is going to have some lasting effects. And it sucks, Rob, because I think we were okay with this team having a lot of new faces, rebuilding, all those good things. There's some excitement in that, even if it's like you feel like your team's taking a step back.
Mm-hmm.
But it feels like injuries are kind of robbing us from that excitement right now.
And I don't think I actually ever said it, so bad job out of me. Ben Bartch got injured today at practice, potentially the starting left guard. We don't know the extent of the injury just yet. And that's the two things about this that just continue to drive me nuts are it seems like the 49ers cannot play any or do any sort of organized football activities without losing somebody that's important to them. Like every time, whether it's a preseason game, whether it's a practice, somebody is leaving hurt. And there are certain guys where, look, they need these reps more than others, right? Not that I want George Kittle to get hurt because, God, please, he looks like he's going to have a monster year, and we're going to talk about that. But, like, if George Kittle were to miss a couple of weeks, it's fine. But Ben Bartch needs to be on the field because he was, he doesn't have a ton of starting experience. He got banged up last year just when he was going to get his chance. And the kind of bugaboo with him throughout his career has been that he can't stay healthy. And bam, he goes down. We're all looking for Ricky Pearsall to have a good year too, right? Bam, hamstring. Jacob Cowing, same thing. We keep hearing about how
Rendo.
Yes. It's like the important guy. It's not like the most important guys, but like it's key people. It's not like, they got this corner that I didn't even realize was on the team that's been hurt. I can't even remember his damn name, but he's not in practice. It's like, okay, those are the guys that can get hurt, not the people that we really need. And it's like every single time. Thank God it's just a walkthrough tomorrow. They would lose somebody else.
Hey, yeah, don't count them out because it's the 49ers here we're talking about. They could get hurt on their day off at this point. Wouldn't put it past them. But just a small note on the Ben Bartch thing. Mm-hmm. Yeah, bummer that he went down. We don't know what he went down with, right? So I guess we'll wait on that. But just something somewhat notable. Connor Colby filled in his place with the first team at left guard. So something to keep an eye on. I thought that was one of the lone bright spots of the offense on Saturday, Rob, along with Drew Moss.
Yeah, there's some good. I've seen some good clips of them floating around, which is nice to see. And let's be honest, with the offense, it wasn't much good. It was one of the worst offensive performances I've ever seen in the Shanahan era. And I get it. It's preseason, all that stuff. Yes, I understand that. It was still bad. It was hideously bad. They gained 200 total yards as a team. And they had 47% of their total passing yards on one play on the first drive of the night. Like 47% of their passing yards came on that play to Jordan Watkins. That's how bad it was. It was yuck and poo ugly.
I think this just tells us the 49ers are probably going to roll with two quarterbacks for the season. And Look, I'll say this on Carter Bradley, because I know he's gotten a lot of heat, and like obviously everyone's like he should have gotten cut too if Tanner Mordecai got cut. Well, I'll tell you why I think he hasn't gotten cut yet. For one, like you still need some bodies. You still need more than 2 quarterbacks right now. It's still training camp. You still have joint practices to get through. I wouldn't be surprised if they signed Tanner Mordecai again before the next preseason game, just to have all those guys be able to play. But in any case, even without that, I think Carter Bradley looked better in practice than he did in the game. He looked absolutely lost in the game. So maybe like the 49ers are giving him just an extra chance to be like, hey, like, you know, we're kind of going to chalk that up as you were nervous, maybe, and let's try again on Saturday against the Raiders. But I think we've seen enough already to know that the difference between 1 and 2 and then from 3 is stark, between 2 and 3, I should say. So I think they're comfortable going with just Purdy and Mac, because Mac has looked pretty great so far.
Jason Ornelas says, hi from Japan, Rob. Nice to finally catch you live. Hello from Japan. That's awesome. Appreciate that. I love when we go international on the program.
That is awesome.
Thanks for watching. I don't know what time it is in Japan. If it's early and you're at some staying up late or you're waking up early, I appreciate it. We always like to hear that. I think it's crazy that literally I could be talking to somebody in Japan right now, but I do appreciate it. Let's talk about QB1 instead of talking about coach's kid, Carter Bradley. Brock Purdy, we didn't get to see him on Saturday, but apparently in practice today, he was cooking. And he was cooking with George Kittle, throwing deep balls down the field. Kittle's talking a little bit of trash after he scored a touchdown. You love to hear that. I have been on this could be the year that Kyle is forced to give George Kittle the targets that he deserves train, and nothing that I have heard is derailing me from that thought.
Please. Like, it's bad enough you have to be forced to use George Kittle, like your best pass catcher, but please use him more. I've been saying it already, Rob. I'm targeting him in all of my fantasy drafts if possible. I think he's going to have a monster year. It's going to pay major dividends. And the most important thing, it's not just the volume, but Kittle with the ball in his hands, he looks fresh. In training camp, like he looks like a younger version of himself. Like he looks ready to go. I think the extended off season for this team, and in particular guys like George Kittle, paid off a ton, because he looks like a guy who's going to have a hell of a year this year. And we know Brock Purdy's going to feed him, so that's important. I'll say this, because I did see like they connected on a deeper ball today. Obviously, I wasn't at practice today. I'm back home, but I did see when I was out there a number of nice deep balls from Purdy. And that was kind of the thing that was a little more inconsistent in Purdy's game, right? Like he'd attempt deep balls here and there, but they wouldn't always be accurate. Right now in training camp, he's been pretty accurate downfield. And I think that's a great sign for the 49ers this season. The timing, the rhythm of everything just looks spot on.
Good. Please. And yes. Dial it up, man. Use what you got. And it's interesting that you talk about George Kittle being refreshed. What did I say last year 1,000 times? Is that George Kittle is like a drunken rhinoceros out on the field after he catches the ball. What if he's a sober rhinoceros this year? That's even more dangerous. Like, yes, give me 85 running down the field with
drunken rhinoceros. I feel like he'd love that analogy, by the way.
He probably would, although he's no fan of the social medias.
Yeah, but maybe don't tweet him.
Yeah, no. Yeah. I was glad I was wrong about that. For anyone that doesn't know, I said that George wasn't going to finish his old contract with the 49ers, and he saw that and he did not appreciate it. I was wrong about that, obviously, because he has since signed another one. This just in, sometimes I'm wrong about stuff.
Glad you're happy to be wrong about that one.
Of course.
Very, very happy. But while we're on the topic of contracts, can we talk about the latest that we've heard about Jauan Jennings and his contract? Because Tim K said in a recent piece, I think that one came out today, that they're not close on a deal with Jauan Jennings right now. And look, we haven't seen him on the field in quite some time after he suffered the maybe quote unquote calf injury. I still feel like the injury was legit to begin with. I think at this point he's healthy, but he has no incentive to go back out there on the field. and risk re-aggravating that. So he's waiting for this deal to happen. And I don't know how I feel about the 49ers and JJ being not close, especially with all the injuries that we're talking about. One of the rooms that's been most depleted with injuries is the wide receiver room. With each guy that goes down, I'm changing that number just a little bit if I'm Jauan Jennings and his agent.
You never want to make a deal with a metaphorical gun to your head, right? That's when you do bad things. That's when you do deals that you regret. It's how Brandon Ayuk got his contract from the 49ers, and they've been screaming to high heaven how much they hate it and regret it and wish they could get out of it. That's what happens when you do deals when you feel like you're backed into a corner. The 49ers do not want to do that, it seems like. In fact, Kyle Kami had a tweet that I've been looking for while you were talking, which is annoying that I can't find. Whenever I need it, I can't find it. It drives me nuts. But basically, he wrote the article and then he quote tweeted the article and said, I've been doing some digging on this, and the 49ers really do not want to pay big money to any wide receiver, whether it's Jauan Jennings or anyone. They just don't want to do it right now after all the money they spent this offseason. And the way you can tell, Steph, is because they need another wide receiver, and they're not calling Amari Cooper or Gabe Davis. They are working out Jalen Camp.
Oh, Lord.
Guys like Frank Darby, like people that I did not even know were on this planet until I just saw this tweet from Matt Mayoko. So they're working out receivers. They need a receiver. They ain't getting Amari Cooper. They ain't shopping in that aisle. Okay, so that is not happening. So they are just, I think, going to hold their breath, cross their fingers, and try to get through the first 4 weeks of this season until, they can get some reinforcements with Demarcus Robinson and hopefully, some other receivers that get healthy.
Well, I think it's obvious they don't want to pay big money to wide receivers, as we saw last year. That's why that got so contentious, right? And I think we still don't know what Jauan Jennings is asking for, but I could see it being a reasonable ask and still the 49ers saying, we just won't do it. And I mean, that puts both in a difficult spot. I don't know where this is going to end. This is like 49ers versus BA light. It's like the nicer version of it that's not quite in your face, I guess. But this is something that could go down to the wire and not be resolved until the first week. Like that's what I don't want to have happen, because I think we've seen how players who don't have this time to acclimate to real football and getting hit and all these things, they're more prone to injury and actual injury once they do return to football, when they do have their deal. Happened to Trent, happened to McCaffrey, although I think McCaffrey probably was already dealing with some stuff before he got his deal, but it happened to BA. I don't think that's coincidence, personally.
Yeah, you're probably right about that. And if you're Jauan Jennings, like, maybe I could practice. If I had another, $5 million, $8 million, I might be more willing to risk potentially re-injuring the calf than right now. Like, I'm sure he is in no hurry to rush back. I get it if I'm him. I think that it's probably a combination of both. I don't think the 49ers should do it, Steph. I've been on that train with Jauan Jennings. I'm still going to stay on that train. Even if other receivers get healthy, like, that's not a good reason to pay somebody beyond this season. Now, if they want to give him more for just 2025, I'm all for it. I'd be absolutely fine with that because he's under contract for 2025 anyway. So that's fine. But anything beyond that, I wouldn't do it. And I just hope that they can. Cowing's coming back today. Hopefully he can stick a little bit. Obviously, we want Pearsall to stay healthy. I'm kind of understand the 49ers thinking on this one.
Yeah, I can see it from both sides. Like, if they decided to extend him, I could understand why they would have done that, or why they would. If they didn't, which seems to be like where they're kind of leaning towards right now, they don't want to. I can understand that too. And the reason why I can see it is because we know they invested in a couple of wide receivers already via draft: Ricky Pearsall, Jacob Cowing, Jordan Watkins. You want to see what you have in those guys. Mm-hmm. The problem with what Jauan Jennings is doing is you're not giving the team the time to evaluate those guys. But that's the point, right? Like, you're kind of putting them between a rock and a hard place. before they can actually say, hey, actually, we don't need you, Jennings. Like, peace out, because, other guys have emerged. Like, Jordan Watkins already looks like a guy who could play himself onto the field as a rookie. So, yeah, I think the 49ers feel comfortable with some of the other options that they have. I think they like Demarcus Robinson too. We'll wait to see what happens with the suspension there. And then Russell Gage, I think they like him. But yeah, I don't know if someone's really going to give you the exact same impact right away, but there are some guys who can contribute. It's just going to be a little more spread out.
Russell Gage has not appeared in a regular season football game since 2022. Not saying he can't be a contributor.
He's looked fine in training camp.
Yep.
He's looked good. He's just like Weston said this. He's a steady Eddie.
Yeah.
He's a steady Eddie, just like a Chris Conley type that's just there when you need him, reliable. So that's Gage. He's not going to be super flashy or anything, but you can still move the ball with him on the field.
And that's what I think Demarcus Robinson will be too when he plays.
Yes,
it's like steady Eddie. So if you have those two guys and you have Pearsall and you have Kittle and you have McCaffrey, is it ideal? No. Is it good enough? Hell yeah. It should be good enough, especially with Brock Purdy. Like, yeah, it should be good enough. And Kyle Shanahan calling plays. So that's why I am understanding where the Niners are coming from with this Jauan Jennings thing. I also think there's probably a little bit of the 49ers that thinks once we start playing real games, Jauan's going to want to get back out on that field. Like he has that instinct in him that he's going to want to play. And here's the other part of it too, Steph. I know, in 49er land, we like to talk about how great of a year Jauan Jennings had last year. When the NFL views Jauan Jennings, they're not going to look as favorably on him as 49er fans do, I think. So there has to be a little bit of an incentive for Jauan, knowing that he's going to be a free agent next year, to put more good film out there, to continue to produce, to do even better than he did last year. And he's never going to have a better opportunity to do that than right early in the season when they start playing games again. So I think the Niners are kind of looking at this situation and being like, there's not really incentive for him necessarily to, hurry up and get on the field now, but there will be when we roll into Seattle for week 1.
And let's not forget, the 49ers are kind of playing nice still, because they're going along with this whole calf thing. At any point, they could say, he's been cleared. Like, he's cleared, and we expect him to be out there. And at that point, he's going to start getting fined. Like, that's just where he doesn't want to take it that far, I don't think. And right now, the 49ers don't want to take it that far either. But they'll play that card if they need to. So
I wonder if it was sort of a thing where they met up and they were like, look, Jauan, we've looked at the calf. We think you can play. And Jauan's like, yeah, I could, but I want a new deal. And everybody's kind of like, everybody knows what's up. I won't make any waves if you don't make any waves. And come week 1, I'll get out there. And maybe that's sort of the tacit agreement that they have at this point. Who knows? But, if it would even be a less of an issue, Steph, if Watkins had stayed healthy, Pearsall and Cowing, like, I don't even think we would be talking about Jauan Jennings right now. I think it would be, oh my God, did you see what this guy did? Did you see what that guy did? Can't wait to see them out on the field. We could play them all. Like, and then it's like, oh, the 49ers offense has gotten so much younger. You could see like the next sort of wave of people that will be there growing with Brock Purdy, kind of like the way we're talking about with the defense with all these young players. It didn't materialize that way, at least to this point, with, still 2 games to go in the preseason.
Well, just like it does every year, these injuries are complicating the 49ers' lives. But the fact that the 49ers are kind of still holding firm and not bringing anyone significant, like they're really only getting roster bubble guys, I think tells you that they feel pretty good about the other receivers that they have and who will make the 53.
They drafted them for a reason, right? They drafted, 4 receivers in the last 2 years. They didn't draft them not to play. So that's another reason why I think that they are okay holding off on the Jauan Jennings thing. Like, this was kind of part of the plan. When you build your roster, you think, hey, if we can replace this guy when he becomes a free agent, we'll let him go. Kind of like they do with the offensive line. It's not the only position where the 49ers think that way. They let Mike McGlinchey go. They absolutely replaced Mike McGlinchey with Colton McKivitz. Like, no question about it. I think they literally had the exact same PFF grade last year, which is wild. Like, that's sort of how you build your roster. You pay the guys you can't replace, and you try to pick out the guys that you think you can. And I think the 49ers know there's a lot better chance that they can replace Jauan Jennings than they could have replaced, say, Christian McCaffrey or Trent Williams or Kittle or Warner or any of the guys they paid this offseason.
Well, also, Kyle Shanahan recently kind of made it seem like they're still open to adding a wide receiver in maybe different ways than just free agency. Like, at least that's what I got from it. They're exploring all avenues or something like that is what he said. But maybe they could trade for someone if it really comes down to that at some point, right? But I don't think they're there yet. They still got some time to work this out. So,
Giannis, thank you very much for the super chat. Says Jennings tried the Debo Ayuk playbook, but he's nowhere near as good as them, so it won't work. He'll be back in week 1 and play out the final year. It's not quite the same as Debo and Ayuk. Both of those guys requested trades. Jennings has shown up for everything, but he's made it known he wants more money.
And I mean, I know Lynch said he didn't officially request a trade, or both him and Kyle said that. But I mean, via a report, it was like an indirect trade request. So, but yeah, it's a much quieter situation than it was with Debo and Ayuk.
That is true. By the way, I believe that super chat is a Norwegian krone. So, are you checking in?
Oh.
Do we have another international
Let's go
audience member on the program? And thank you very much. We do appreciate all super chats, regardless of denomination. Thank you very much. But if my instincts, if my spidey sense is correct, I'm going to gamble that that's what it was.
We should have a board where we just like pin where our super chats come from. Like,
there we go.
Be awesome.
Yeah, I would. You know what? If we get enough, we'll do. If you want a board, start.
I'll buy you a board, Rob.
Throwing in the super chats. See if we can get that up there.
Norway.
Yeah, he's from Norway. There you go. So
awesome. Let's go.
I think that was correct. Well, thank you. We got Japan. We got Norway on the show. I appreciate it. Anyway, what were we talking about? Oh, yeah, Jauan Jennings and that whole Michigas of a situation.
Yeah, I think we're done with Jennings. I mean, this is just like a train that's not moving right now. So I'm going to get off of it.
All right. Well, let's transition to what else we want to talk about on the program today.
I mean, the 49ers have a joint practice coming up on Thursday. We talk about yeah, I mean, I still think that's probably going to happen. What I'm hoping, Rob, I know we're tracking a lot of injuries, right? And there are a lot of players that didn't practice today. I'm hoping that at least some of those players they're being cautious with them so they could be back for the joint practice, right? So that's my hope. I think Michael is maybe tracking to possibly be ready for that. But do you want to be more cautious with him? I don't know. I think it's more important to have him maybe available for the game. But maybe like Upton Stout, for example, they're being cautious with him and the calf soreness. Like, I think they want to see him out there as well. So I wouldn't be surprised if there's some guys that do end up practicing, because remember, it was kind of similar with remember Nick Bosa missed a few extra practices and we were all kind of freaking out like he was dealing with an injury, but they were just being cautious with him and wanted to save him basically for the joint practice with the Broncos, in which he participated and looked great in. So maybe they're doing something similar with the Raiders practice as well.
And Kyle has said many times, including this year, he values the joint practice more than the games. So, it would make sense if he were to hold guys out intentionally to try and get them ready to go for the joint practice, because he takes a lot away from these games. So I hope you're right. I really want to see Michael Williams out on the field. He and Upton Stout were probably the two players I wanted to see the most this weekend that I was disappointed we weren't going to get to see, just because look, Michael Williams is the 11th overall pick, so it's obviously going to be hyped there. And then Upton Stout, I mean, every practice he's getting praise from coaches. He's getting praise from other players who were just randomly bringing him up in other interviews that they're doing. Like, Well, I really wanted to see him. Plus, his personality, like I love his personality. So I'm really hoping the guys with the good personalities are also really good players, because that just makes the team a hell of a lot more interesting to cover just from our perspective. So I really hope that he is back. Now, I did think that I heard Kyle say he doesn't love when a guy's first practice coming back from injury is a joint practice, but at this point, beggars can't be choosers. If he can go, he's got to go.
Yeah, and especially because it's soreness, right? So it's not like an injury per se, but yeah, Upton Stout has been the biggest standout of training camp this year. And what I find interesting, though, Rob, is because I originally thought that he was held out of that game on Saturday because he's just locked in as the nickel corner, and they didn't need to see any more of him. And then it was until after that we heard that he's dealing with an injury. But Chase Lucas, who played in his place, did a hell of a job on Saturday. And I'm like, whoa, we went from having like no good nickels to now we've got two. That's pretty good. And I think, Rob, that they're going to find a way to get both of these guys on the field at different times. They're going to maybe at the same time, they'll probably switch them out for different matchups. Chase Lucas is going to be in there for like blitzes and things like that, where you want him to get in the backfield. So that's his strength. I think Saleh is going to be pretty creative with how he uses him interchangeably with Upton Stout.
Yeah, Johnny Dell says, with how good Chase Lucas looked, the thought of Upton Stout being ahead of him is promising.
It really is.
The two encouraging things for me that came out of that game, just looking over my notes, was over and over again, Chase Lucas, nice play. Marquise Siegel, nice play.
Yep.
And it was two guys that I didn't go into the game like looking forward to watching. And so I feel like I can get excited about that because I know it's not like my bias, like I'll pumping these guys up. It's like, no, literally they keep making good plays. Their name is in my notes over and over and over again. So yeah, for Stout to be ahead of Lucas is good. And for Lucas to be performing the way he's performing was super promising, because they need all the help they can. It's all hands on deck right now. And I loved seeing the fire that Chase Lucas was playing with too. He makes a play, starts getting up, freaking out like, I want a little of the crazy on defense.
He was pumped. He had the energy. You love to see it. I believe it was I was reading through Nick Wagner's notes from practice today, right? And so another kind of thing I'm tracking is the safety group, because you mentioned Marquise Siegel. He did have a fantastic game on Saturday. And so now he's working with the ones, which I think he's definitely deserved some looks with the first team.
Mm-hmm.
Jair Brown is back at practice. Jair Brown was back with the ones today, but it seemed like it was Brown and Siegel today. So Jason Pinnock maybe moved down a notch. I don't know if this is official ranking, how the 49ers are seeing it, or if they're, just trying to switch guys out and just see how they do with different like groups. But did Pinnock get hurt? Man, I can't even keep track of the injuries. I don't think Pinnock is hurt. Did you hear about that, Rob? I just saw that.
Yeah.
It's Richie Grant, as far as I know, that's been hurt. Richie Grant is the other safety. And then, of course, Mustafa's been hurt. Jair Brown was hurt, now back.
Yeah, I don't remember hearing that about Pinnock, but it's super encouraging. Good about Siegel. Robert Saleh was talking about Sebastian Valdez when he made the comment. But I think it applies. And basically what he said about Valdez is just keep putting him against better competition. And when he proves he's better than the guy he goes up against, you put him against better competition than that. That is exactly the way it should go, especially for a team that could have 8 new starters on defense this year. If a guy flashes, put him against tougher competition and let's see what he does. And, it's one thing to hear about good practices and being good in camp, and then good joint practices, and then good preseason. It just keeps building and building and building. So good. Put Siegel with the ones. Let's let it roll. God knows we don't have any other starters at safety right now.
And I want to see Valdez get some first team reps, if possible. Just a couple, maybe, come Saturday. I wouldn't be surprised if he gets some, at least in the joint practice too. But yeah, he looks great. And it seems like people in the comments are kind of mentioning that Pinnock is now hurt. So I missed that, but that's unfortunate because, dude, the safety room is depleted, so depleted with injuries. I guess it's good Jair Brown's back, but man, they are really your only two startable safeties that are healthy, Marquise Siegel and Jair Brown. Besides that, like, I'm not starting Mahoney or Derek Canteen.
Derek Canteen. No disrespect.
That just sounds like someone who's not starting.
That's a preseason name if I ever heard one. It's just annoying that, like, why can't we have all of our people, right? Jordan Watkins goes down. Jacob Cowing comes back. Like,
that's what I'm saying.
Both of them?
One guy comes back and then you lose like 2 or 3 guys that same day. Like it never ends.
It just seems like every time they do anything football related, somebody gets hurt and has to leave. It's just, and then what I worry about it happening, Steph, is that they're going to be in such a roster crunch that they're going to make these guys come back early, or these guys are just going to want to get back out on the field early before they're ready, before they're prepared. Then they get hurt again, or they hurt something else, and it just snowballs.
I really hope not. I mean, you don't start doing that until you have a team that is like a playoff contender anyway. At least that's what I would hope they would. Not that I'm hoping they would do that, but I would hope that if that's the only circumstance in which they would, quote unquote, rush a guy back, or that a guy would want to get back out there. I mean, all these guys want to get back out there, right? And probably push for it. But right now, it seems like they're being cautious for a number of people. So
apparently, Grant said that Jason Pinnock left with an undisclosed injury. Great. And we won't hear from Kyle Shanahan for a little while, too. So who knows if we'll get, news on Barch or any of these guys. Not that you can trust a word that comes out of Kyle's mouth anyway.
I mean, Saleh spoke with the media today. I guess he didn't mention anything about that because I didn't see
that. No, I watched his press conference. I don't even think he was asked about it, to be honest with you.
No, it doesn't seem like it was.
I do enjoy his press conferences, though. I feel like he gives he'll actually answer some questions and give some good insight. The Nick Sorensen press conferences last year. Talk about vanilla on white bread with milk toast. It was just a big waste of everyone's time.
Well, vanilla on white bread doesn't sound too bad. You got to pick something else.
But it's boring. It's plain. Don't tell me you're a vanilla person. Do you go to the ice cream place and order vanilla?
No, but if they have vanilla, I don't mind it. If a restaurant only has vanilla ice cream, I'm like, okay.
Right. That's the only way you get vanilla, because it's better than no ice cream at all, but just barely.
I don't think it's that bad, especially vanilla bean.
Oh. I have had some controversial.
Toast with no jam. Thank you. That, you could have. How about just bread with nothing? That's it.
I have had some controversial food takes, and apparently I had one today, a little while ago. Raymond Martinez says, Rob's right about the injuries, but his take on lemon pepper wings is completely wrong. I think lemon pepper's ass stuff.
I saw that. I gotta disagree with you on that one.
Oh, what?
That's very disappointing. But I'm not surprised. It's coming from Rob. I mean,
so many people,
justice for lemon pepper.
Lemon pepper wings are so good. I tried it. I was I can't wait. Everybody loves this flavor. I got to try this flavor. I tried it. It tasted like they dragged the wing through the dirt before they put it in.
Then you went to the wrong place. Where did you go?
Wingstop.
That's your first problem right there. Go to a real wing place, man. Come on.
It's lemon and pepper. What do some places have? Secret pepper that's different from other pepper?
Oh, but it's Wingstop. It's like Chipotle these days. They're just falling off,
All right, but I don't know. I don't get what people see in it at all. I'm sorry. I just don't.
So which one's your favorite?
Okay, well, so this was a tweet, and it was, what is the superior wing flavor? And the options were Korean barbecue, sweet chili, buffalo, garlic parm, lemon pepper, and mango habanero. Garlic parmesan's overrated, too. Way overrated.
Slightly, yeah.
Solid buffalo is good. Sweet chili would be good. Korean barbecue I could get down with. Probably anything in that top row there. What? What's wrong with that?
No, I'm laughing because someone said you have no taste buds. Um, I think, I mean, I like a few of these. Some of my favorites, Korean barbecue or sweet chili. So good.
Yes, I'm down with it. I love Asian food anyway. So any of those flavors, Korean barbecue, like whatever. Yes, just give it to me. Here, shut up and take it.
Buffalo is like overrated in my opinion. Maybe that's a hot
Buffalo
take, but
is solid. You know what you're getting, right? It's like
I know what I'm getting. I don't like it. I could do better. I could do better than that.
I don't mind it. Sometimes I am in the mood for a nice buffalo wing. So I'm not eliminating it by any stretch of the imagination.
All right. Well,
Steph, how did we go 40 plus minutes on the show and not talk about arguably the most important thing that happened at practice today? Do you know what I'm talking about?
what's that? Oh,
Kicker update. Jake Moody, baby. 7 for 7 today on field goals of increasing distance. The final 2 were from beyond 50 yards. What do you think about that?
don't care. I don't care. Do it in a game. Do it in a game. And then do it again in a game. Then we can talk.
And continue to do it. Like I'm still terrified of him.
I'm sorry. He's not allowed to miss anymore.
Well, that's the thing. Like you just said it. You're keeping this guy. He's not allowed to miss anymore because even if it's a 60-yard kick, if he misses it, people are going to be like, oh my God, why did they?
Okay. Yes, people are going to do that. Personally, if it's 60, okay, fine. We shouldn't have put you out there to begin with. But I mean, anything, if it's 50 or less, I'm expecting that to go in. But by the way, for how early he was drafted, you should make the 60-yarders too, because I'm seeing Cam Little hit a, what was that, 70-yarder?
70, and it was good by like room to spare. He killed it.
Yeah, for how early Moody was drafted, I need to see him do that too.
And I was watching, I think it was Steve Palazzolo or somebody from PFF on a podcast, and they said something I totally agree with. I don't care that it's a preseason game. That should be the record. It's a field goal kick.
Yeah, I agree.
It's exactly the same as if it was in the regular season.
That should be worth more points too.
Right?
That's insane.
That would be awesome. The further away you are, the more points the field goal is worth. I could get down with that.
We might actually care about kickers if that happens. If they ever did that.
That would be that. Look, Kyle Shanahan, we don't need to give him any more incentive to kick a field goal, though. So that's the downside to that, is that he'd be running them out. Let's go get 4 points.
Oh my God, you're so right. He already rationalizes like not going for it so that they could just get points on the board, kick a field goal. No, let's not enable him any further.
Always Drip says, do you truly trust Moody in a playoff game to hit a game-winning field goal?
Absolutely not.
And I don't know what it will take for me to trust him. And maybe that's unfair, Steph, because in the Super Bowl, he was damn good. He hit some clutch kicks in the Super Bowl. He had a kick that was, at the time, the longest made field goal in Super Bowl history. And he made a kick from, I think it was 52 or 53, under 2 minutes to go to, I think it was either to tie the score or to give them the lead. Like in the most clutch situation you could be in, he delivered, and yet I still don't trust him.
Yeah, I don't. I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, he needs to be consistent. He's not allowed to miss. That's where I'm at with him right now. Like, we were all holding our breath for the Super Bowl.
Yes, kicks. We were. So. I don't know what it will take for me to trust it. Like, I just asked myself that question when I saw and I was like, I don't know. Even if he makes a couple game winners, I won't trust him.
Let's not forget, he did miss an extra point.
Yeah, he did.
That's what I'm saying. It's like there's always something. There's always a miss somewhere.
Yeah.
That could be the difference between a win and a loss.
He needs to make all his kicks to be trusted. Benali points out he also missed kicks, I think, in every playoff game leading up to the Super Bowl. So when you say stuff like that out loud, and then you think that the 49ers had a kicking competition, which he lost, by the way, and somehow won the starting job, it is a crazy place that we are in.
I'm very upset, Rob. I'm very upset about this. But teach his own. You know, you live by the sword, you die by the sword. as of right now, it seems like they want to live by the sword of Jake Moody. So
And
we'll
like
see.
it would be one thing if like they kept going for it on fourth down because they didn't really trust Jake Moody. It's like, all right, that makes sense. I understand the logic, right? You're keeping this kicker, but you're not all in and you'd rather give the offense another shot. Great. But they do the opposite. They take the offense off the field to bring out the kicker that they don't trust. That doesn't make any sense.
And hopefully maybe those days are behind us where Kyle would be like, you know what? Let's just try to go for it. I trust myself more than Jake Moody.
Yes, and I mean, I get the circumstances are different, but he did that in the preseason game. The drive they scored the touchdown on, he went for it on fourth down. Like, yes, that is the thing. And I can't remember the number now, but Mina Kimes looked at it, and the percentage of drives where if you convert on fourth down, you score on a ton of those drives. Like, it massively, massively helps you. I just don't understand how Kyle Shanahan could look at all of the data that's out there and all of the examples of all these teams going for it on fourth down. And yes, they don't make it every time, but to see how it helps them, how it's hurt him specifically from 49ers opponents. And he looks at all of that and he's like, nah, I'm going with Moody.
It's bad enough that he's still on the team. Like I'm seeing people like it's insane how much rope Kyle gives him. He's going to stay on this team this year because they're not ready to admit that they made a mistake. That's it. It's literally it. And I like this from Keith. You got to eat some lemon pepper wings if Moody makes all his field goals every week.
That's pretty good.
Every week.
Pretty good. Or maybe at the end of the year, for every Jake Moody made field goal, I have to eat a lemon pepper wing. That's pretty good, Keith.
Or should it be the missed ones for everyone he misses? Because then you'll be rooting for him to make them. I mean, we already do, but you know.
Yeah. Here's the thing: if he's only going to miss like 3 or 4, and then he's going to get cut. So they're not going to keep him there.
Yeah. I think they have to, right? Like anyone they sign off the street would be.
Well, that's why Kyle's comment was like, "Oh, he's competing against everybody, the guys that are out there." That's such BS. He missed 10 field goals last year, and you still didn't cut him for somebody else that was out there. So that's a bunch of crap, Kyle.
I've reached my kicker quota for the day, Rob.
Kicker update. Yes. I love talking about it. Honestly, I wanted to see Jake Moody kick on Saturday. Like
Me too. But actually, no, you didn't because it was super windy that day. He would have missed. He would have probably missed.
But even if he misses, then he hopefully gets cut and then he's gone. Like there was no downside to it for me. But the offense was so putrid, they couldn't even get remotely close to a position where Jake Moody would kick a field goal. And he had a nothing day. He made an extra point and he had, I think, 2 kickoffs, one of which was perfect. It was landed right on the goal line, exactly where you want. One went into the end zone, which sucked. But he barely had to do anything. He's the biggest winner coming out of Saturday.
The biggest bamboozler there ever was. I mean, we'll see him. We'll see him on Saturday against the Raiders, and he's had some misses there before. So I kind of want to see that.
Think there's going to be any trauma for the Niners going back to Allegiant, where they lost the Super Bowl?
I mean, there has to be some, right? But the good thing is there aren't that many guys on the team that have survived that team, right? Like there's so many new players.
Well, there are a lot of new players, yeah.
And I think some of those guys who did experience the last Super Bowl loss, a good chunk of them were there for like the 2019 one before. Like they know heartbreak. They know heartbreak in one way or another, whether it was in the Super Bowl or not. So.
Very true. Benali says Rob has to eat 1 lemon pepper wing for every missed kick, and if he gets cut, an entire tub of vanilla ice cream. I don't dislike.
Why do you get punished for Moody getting cut, right?
Yeah, I know. I don't understand how like I have like somehow tied to Jake Moody. The vanilla ice cream is going to be no problem. I will destroy a thing of vanilla ice cream. The lemon pepper wing is going to be troubling. That is difficult because it tastes like ass.
Just don't get it from Wingstop, dude. Like, oh my gosh.
There are good wing places around. Here's the thing. There's a great wing place in right where I live. It's like 20 minutes away. It's called Archie Moore's. They have phenomenal wings. But if I'm going to get wings from Archie Moore's, I don't want to risk it and get this crap flavor that I probably won't like. I'd rather get an actual good flavor that doesn't taste like you dragged it in the dirt.
But if you agree to this, you don't have a choice. You're getting lemon pepper wings.
Yeah, that's true.
So you might as well get it from a place you know is good.
You're saying I should give him one more chance. If Jake Moody makes the team week 1, because you know what I do every opening week for football season? I usually go the 3 H's: Heineken, hot wings, and Haagen-Dazs. That's what I eat week 1 every year. So maybe instead of the hot wings, I got to go with the lemon pepper if Jake Moody's still on the team.
Okay, I like that.
All right, so you've coerced me, chat.
We're all witness. We're all witness to this.
3 lemon pepper wings per field goal, Keith says. A Carolina Reaper for every miss. No. So I cannot do that. Travis Kelce, when I was producing Pro Football Talk with Mike Florio, Travis Kelce was a guest on the show. And the product that he was pitching was the 1-chip challenge with the potato chip, the super hot potato chip. It comes in a box shaped like a coffin. And Florio was like, hey, reach out to Travis Kelce and make sure you get a bunch of those. I want to eat them. So I did, and Travis Kelce got us a bunch of the chips, and Florio gave them all to the crew, to the staff. And I had one piece of 1 chip of that Carolina Reaper chip, and it destroyed me, Steph. I thought I was going to die. I had it at like 1 o'clock in the afternoon. I could not eat anything for the rest of the day. No lunch, no dinner, nothing.
Why?
It is so traumatizing. I went into complete flop sweat like immediately. It just builds and builds.
God, wish I could have seen that.
Oh, you can, because I have it on video.
Oh.
Yeah, we took a video of it.
Put it up.
I should put it up. I got to find it because it's been a few years now. It was one of the guys that took a piece called out of work the next day. He did not show up for work. It was horrible. And, they say like, oh, drink milk. So there's a cafeteria at NBC. So I ran to the cafeteria. I drank like a half a gallon of milk. Did not help at all. And the worst part was I had a 45-minute drive home. I literally thought there was a good chance that something was coming out of my body on that ride home. I don't know where it was going to come from, but I was convinced that I was not making it home clean.
Wow.
It was traumatizing.
Are you sure it's not because of the milk, though? Like, maybe you're lactose intolerant.
It was immediate, Steph. You ate it, and my stomach was like, that was horrible. I could not function. I had to just lay down on my couch. My wife was like, what the hell happened to you? I was like, a potato chip, basically. And she was like, what did I marry?
I might need to try this just for comparison's sake.
Well, then if you do, you have to do it on the show because you have to show people and they will know that I'm not lying. It was horrible. And forever I held a grudge against Travis Kelce. And then, of course, he beat us in the Super Bowl twice and made it even worse. So, yeah, you're on the list, Kelce.
How about if Jake Moody is still on the team at the end of the season, I'll do it.
Okay, now we're talking. Yes, that's much better.
And by end of the season, I'm talking week 18. If he's on the team after that.
Will you eat the whole chip or just a piece?
Just a piece, because that's what you did.
That's fair. Please, I want you to continue to do shows and not be dead. So 1 piece is just fine. Do you have like a high tolerance for spicy food?
I mean, I'm neutral, I guess. What about you?
Regretting though. Yes, I love spicy food.
Oh, shoot. Then I'm screwed.
This was not like something that human beings should consume on any stretch. Like it just wasn't. It was instant regret. And hopefully you'll get the chance to see.
You had a story to tell.
There you go. That is true. That's going to do it for this edition of the show. Thank you, everybody. Like this video. Subscribe to the channel. Subscribe to Steph's channel as well. Just search Steph49K. It pops right up on YouTube. It'll make you a better, smarter fan. Sorry you had to tolerate this episode with me instead of Jay, Steph.
I'll forgive him.
Yeah.
Not you, though.
No, of course not. Why would you ever do that? Thanks, everybody, again. We'll talk to you tomorrow.
Peace.